everyone, and welcome back to more Ace Attorney. We did the first bit of the trial. I think we're about to go into recess here and kind of recuperate and get ready. Everything just came back full circle, essentially. It's kind of crazy. Now we gotta prove Ron's innocence in this too. My sis! I could have sworn I heard Mia's voice. So then she's still alive. Inside your heart. Nicky boy! Oh, Miss Delight. Is it true that detective is the real killer? To be honest, we don't have any definite proof. But he's the only one who could have done it. But wasn't he at Lordly Taylor that night? Not to mention, we don't exactly know his motive. I mean, why would Detective Atme want to kill Kane Ballard? Oops, it's almost time. Better get back to the courtroom. Need to find some solid proof. And it's gotta happen sooner rather than later. Interesting, very interesting. Now then, this court is about to get in session. Mr. Luke Atme, please take the stand. Hey, dude. Well, how do you do, Sir Lawyer? I never would have thought to see you acting so recklessly. Couldn't let them hand down your verdict just yet. Not when it would have been given you the perfect alibi. An alibi by the name of Master. I'm sorry, I'm afraid even the great Luke Atme has no idea what you mean. Of course, I had been in the next courtroom ever since 10 o'clock this morning. I'm afraid there's no way I could have known what's been going on here. You've been in the defendant's seat all day long, correct? Being tried as Master Masque. Indeed, it's truly child's play to fool the ignorant masses. Not only did the poor fools ask me to protect their valuables, they even gave me a generous reward upon returning their own property to them. Take this diamond ring that sparkles upon my divine finger, for example. So you continue to insist that you are, in fact, Master Masque? Of course. Very well then, look at me. Let us begin with the simple question. October 12th at 1 a.m., Kane Ballard was murdered. Where were you at that time? One without knowledge lacks even the knowledge that he should be ashamed of himself. But don't worry, I will not hold it against you, Mr. Judge. Thanks? Alright, Mr. Atme, the night of the murder, speak. Roll years. As you wish, Sir Prosecutor. I was stealing the urn as Master Masque, just as I announced I would. I had more than enough time to prepare. It was a pathetically easy job. Photograph contains no words, but in this case, one turned out to be my witness. The time at which the camera captured Master Masque was the same time as the murder. It seems the main point of the discussion will be the photo of the crime scene. Everything else up till now was all part of his plan. Has to be a secret to this picture as well. Either the great Master Masque cannot be in two places at once. Now then, if you'll excuse me, I have a verdict to receive. Unfortunately, Mr. Atme, we still have to do your cross-examination. A fool is too foolish to know that he is a fool. I think he's trying to say that you're full of it, Nick. The only thing that's full of the only thing that's full of it is his alibi. Oh. Saying your urn as Master Masque. Okay, hold on. Can I look at the photo real fast, though? Because now it's suspicious. This. Shouldn't there be paint on the box? Isn't that weird? It's also not a date. Oh, this shows that it was on the night of the crime. I don't know. So this photo is the proof, correct? Indeed it is. The man in the photo is certainly wearing a mask. That is why I'm called Mask the Maske. But conveniently, that also means that there is no way to tell who this really is. What do you mean? Ha! Are you saying that this is not in fact Lou Acme? That it could be an accomplice dressed up as Mask the Maske to create an alibi? Oh, what an interesting idea. Are you saying that I, Lone Wolf Luke, had an accomplice? Name the accomplice, give it up. Who would be the accomplice? Oh! He was blackmailing them. Hold on. But then, but even then, because he would have to have been the one blackmailing him. Also, what did 2 weeks ago? Kept out of sight. Right. So, and there's no paint on the box. Okay. Let's go with this. Who Acme was like KBS security during the murder. The masked mask in this picture has to be a fake. Exactly. You had accomplice. Now remember what you said. Remember you said that, Mr. Trite, because there's no going back. Making baseless claims, I'll treat you to a penalty myself. Penalty's probably boiling hot too. So is it, Mr. Trite? Who was the accomplice? It was this person. Huh, that's quite the prank you're trying to pull. Damn. Maybe I don't have enough evidence. Oh, do you have any evidence that this person is in fact the accomplice? Well, the aura that this person has around them is going to judge someone by their aura. Okay, never mind. I was like, wait, do I have to prove it? I was like, do I have evidence? Jump the gun on that one. Yeah, it's fine. Let's just keep pressing for now. Adrian Andrews hired at you at one point. That's right. It was over 20 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. And you sent the calling card to Lori Taylor 10 days before the heist. I mean, you sent out the card after you began your security watch, correct? I do. No reason why I couldn't do both jobs at once. It was the perfect opportunity to steal my latest target. I see, you truly are evil, aren't you? Evil is what I am. Hey, Nick. Isn't there something odd about this? Detective Atme was always proud of his ace detective skills, right? But if the urn was stolen from Lori Taylor while he was the only one watching it, you have no way to maintain his perfect ace detective persona. You know, that's true. It's kind of odd. So by photograph, I mean this piece of evidence here is that correct? Indeed. Indeed it is. That is it. That the very thing that proves I committed the crime. The very thing that proves you committed the crime. Oh, I'm so sorry I keep yawning. I swear I'm not bored, I'm just tired. It's 11 o'clock at night. When you really think about it, it's really odd. I just want to get through this trial. You say that almost as if you had this picture taken on purpose. He was simply caught by the very camera that he had set up. We all have days like that. Indeed, it turned out that there was no such thing as a perfect crime after all. Life is truly an erotic thing, a sad blue melody. Looks like I better gather more information for now. He's truly the killer. There's gotta be something phony in that photo. Time image, okay. Not the camera that took this photograph. Oh, come on now. It's all too clear what you're thinking, huh? You think I altered the timestamp of the photograph, don't you? I'm afraid that's impossible. The camera was set up by Lorelei Taylor, and on top of that, it was Lorelei Taylor's staff that printed the pictures at data. Fortunately for the defense, there's no way that picture could have been altered. I see. Looks like I better find something else that could be suspicious. This alibi is false. It has to be, or else he couldn't have killed Mr. Bullard at KB Security. Not really spotting anything unusual. Two possibilities. Either the mask in the photo is a fake, or the photo itself is. Ripley, stop blinking my thing. The blanket. So essentially we have to prove... Okay. That it wasn't him in the photo, or that the photo was altered. Let me look at the photo real fast. Right. There's no paint on that box. It's a different box, because Adrian broke it 2 weeks prior. And she would have had to, like, hide everything. She went and, like, hid it away. Because it was broken. There's no paint on that box. Okay, I'm gonna present the box. Unless... Because... 2 weeks prior. So then he must have taken it before Adrian... Either it's a different box, or he took it before Adrian broke the thing. Okay, let's present the box. I think. No? Not there? Really? Dang. I really thought that was it. Turned out to be my witness. Maybe it was here. Basement warehouse, and this picture that supposedly captures it. Oh! Here we go! It's gotta be here. I guess I didn't press that. I thought I did. So this is where I present it. Okay. There's something funny about this picture. You implying that this picture is fake? You bet I am. There's something definitely strange about this picture. I took a look around the basement warehouse that night before the theft took place. There was something in this photo that doesn't match my memory of that night. Very well, then let's hear what you have to say. What about this photograph you find is funny? The box. Perhaps this is the area in question. This area, could you be any more vague? Huh. Today's Java has a little extra kick to it. Seems that the funny part lies in the area of defense. What? the heck? Then, do I point at the paint? The spot with the paint? Oh, whatever. The funny part is right here. Why, this is a blood stain. Blood. Now this case is getting interesting. Not exactly. The stain is actually pink paint. Oh, just paint. Peach colored like at that. From blood to peaches, the judge sure was going on his wild tangents. Problem with this photograph is not the paint. The problem is when you consider the layout of the basement of the warehouse. Turns out something that should have been there is nowhere to be seen. Oh, we're trying the statue. I was like, the box. There's no paint on the box. That has to come into play later. Come on. Well, Mr. Wright, what was supposed to be in this picture instead of the paint stains? Statue. Supervisor at the treasure exhibit stated the following. During the crime afternoon, the statue just happened to arrive from the mountain during training call. The perfect size for covering up paint stains. That's why I put it where you first saw it. I myself was there the night the theft took place and saw the statue in that spot. This picture was truly taken on that night. Then the statue should have been there. But when I went there the day after the theft, that statue of the old bag was sitting in the corner. Perhaps it was somehow pushed there accidentally. Your Honor, the statue is slightly larger than yourself and quite heavy. It would have taken more than an accidental push to move it that distance. In that case, can you prove it? Can you give us the rhyme and reason as to why that statue was moved that night? Can you do it, Nick? Never mind who moved it. The real question is, why did they move it? Well, Mr. Wright, I hope you're prepared with your answer. Now then, who was the one that moved the golden statue the night of the crime? Oh, who? Okay. Wouldn't that be Atme himself? Who moved the statue is none other than Luke Atme. Come now, Sir Lawyer. There you go again on one of your strange delusions. Mr. Wright, what basis do you have for your strange delusions? It's very simple. The witness was the only one in the basement warehouse that night. That is indeed very simple. However, why would I want to move a heavy golden statue? These are removing the golden statue. Here's where our battle really begins. Let's save because I have no health. Well, Mr. Wright, what reason did the witness have to move that statue? Reason can be found here in this photograph. Look at me. You pretended to be Master Maske to create an alibi by showing you were at Lordly Taylor that night. But this photo contains a single fatal flaw. If the statue had been there, your lie would have been exposed like cheap film at a drugstore. That's why you had to move the statue. Single fatal fall. Interesting theory. Please enlighten us. Just where in this picture does the lie exist? The box? Is it the box now? The box? I'm confuzzled. Okay, let's try the box. The lie is Master Maske. Oh. Are you saying this Master Maske is fake? Huh. That worked out. I really wish you would start acting more responsibly. Huh? Current question is, why was the golden statue moved? So what possible connection could there be with Master Maske's identity? Oh, buggers. Hey, it says, oh, boogers running over it. Penalty for you. Damn it! Shit! Ah, yeah. What the hell is that? Okay, so what's in the box? Try again. Let's try it again. The time? I'm not sure. Okay, if it's not this, I'm gonna try the paint. Naturally, the lie in the photo is the timestamp. What do you mean? Tell you exactly what I mean. Lanai in question looked at me once KB security and murdered Kane Bullard. Therefore, it's obvious. It would have been impossible for him to have been at Lorelei Taylor at this time. But what does that have to do with the statue being moved? Remember, if you will, Your Honor. When was this statue placed beside the warehouse door? Well, the statue was taken down to the warehouse on the day of the crime. And it was placed there in order to cover up the paint. Exactly. Look at me had already decided on the time when he was going to kill the victim. So in order to create an alibi for that time, he took this picture days before the murder took place. What the? Of course, the statue hadn't yet been brought down to the basement warehouse yet. Oh. So on the day of the crime, Mr. Atme must have been quite nervous. There was a long-tailed cat in a rocking chair factory, so to speak. Why? Because something that wasn't supposed to be there had been brought down and placed where it wasn't supposed to be. And that is why Luke Matme had to move the statue on the night of the murder. He did it to make the room match the way it had been in this photo. Oh. I see. Order, order! Mr. Atme, is this true? One moment, Your Honor. Have you forgotten this? What's that? The data for the basement warehouse computer. According to this, the camera did indeed go off on the night of the crime. It's true that the camera has been set up by the Lorelei Taylor staff. However, the program used to manage that data was yours. That alone would have allowed you to tamper with the data. Order, order! Mr. Godot, what is the meaning of this? Godot, I warned you about making me wait. Now put the coffee down. My 11th cup. I promised to drink... Ripley. Stop. Promise to drink no more than 17 during a trial. James, I'm still good to the last drop. However, the defense has a very good point. A good point. So what? We are all but travelers on the road of infinite points. I think he's got his points mixed up with his other points. So they say this photograph was taken ahead of time, that the statue was moved in order to make it match. That's a very interesting idea, however. There's one point that can't be denied. Which is? And it's only a possibility. Men that are trapped by chains of maybe can never reach their dreams. That's very true. No way, don't fall for that, Your Honor. Hey, Mr. Hey, Mr. Damaske. Yes? There's no funny business in your actions in Mass Damaske. There should be no problem with you telling us your strategy. So let's hear it. Yes, please provide this court with your testimony about your plan to steal the sacred urn. Okay. First received a request from Lorelei Taylor about 20 days ago. The urn was placed in a box in Safari. It was then sent to the warehouse. Hence, I was actually unable to see the urn for myself until the day of the crime. I knew it was an extremely valuable treasure, so I sent it the card 10 days beforehand. I then handled security by myself to ensure that my crime would go smoothly. At last, I held the urn in my hand for the first time at 1 a.m. on October 12th. It's pretty much all the stuff we heard before, isn't it? Yeah, but we will find the truth hidden in the nuggets of the new information he gave. Witness, you're sure there are no mistakes this time? Savari. Very well then, Mr. Wright. You may begin your cross-examination. Okay. You're asked to guard the urn by Miss Adrienne Andrews, is that right? Indeed. It seemed that they have heard of my Savarking reputation. I see Miss Andrews is still attracting the weirdos. You better watch out too, Maya. You mean this box? Yes, that pathetic box. Lady Andrews was especially taken with that urn. She wouldn't let anyone enter the storeroom, not even me. Huh. Interesting new tidbit. So you're sure that you had never seen the urn before? Indeed. You may ask Lady Andrews to confirm yourself. The security was focused entirely on the entrance to that warehouse. However, I, look at me, let no information whatsoever slip through my fingers. You mean this calling card? That's right. That is, without a doubt, my calling card. Guess Mr. Delight didn't make this after all. Of course, because Atme knew about the emblem. Making this card authentic would have been child's play for him. Then no one entered the basement warehouse. Unfortunately, there were many different treasures being taken there. Thus, for a period of approximately 5 days, people were indeed going in and out of the warehouse. And this is the photo that proves that, huh? Indeed, to be honest, even if the photo was taken, I didn't think it would matter terribly much. Hey Nick, if this photo's a fake, Devlin Atme might have stolen the urn whenever this was taken. That's true. You know, he's been saying that he never saw the urn until that night. You can prove that he's lying there. You can wrap this up and put a bow on it. You need to take a good hard look at the court record. Not a lot to go on, is there? The detective's been covering his tracks. There's only one thing we need to prove in this cross-examination. That he took this photo well before the actual night of the crime. Alright then, how do we do that? There's one thing that Atme stated clearly, very clearly. That he had never seen the urn before he stole it. We need to prove that he's lying. Okay, hold on. Save, because I have no health. For the very first time, I'm gonna present the paint. Wait, that's not right? Damn it! Reload. I don't feel like going through all that. Really? That wasn't right? I held the urn in my hands for the first time at 1 a.m. Speckled urn. How would he have known it was speckled? Okay. I had to go back. I had to go back in the evidence to like really look through it. Oh my gosh. Mr. Ami, if you really are Master Maske, then you also wrote this calling card, correct? But of course. Is there a problem with that calling card? Allow me to read a passage from the calling card that Master Maske has written. Take good care of the speckled urn. Now the speckled here surely refers to the pink pattern on the sacred urn. Yes, it's true, but so what? Truth be told, there's no way that Master Maske could have known about this pattern. What do you mean? This pink spotted pattern on the urn is actually nothing more than paint stains. Paint stains. And these stains did not appear until after the urn had been taken to Lordly Taylor. I'm not finding this joke to be very funny, Mr. Wright. The day that the sacred urn was taken to the warehouse, the urn was broken due to a human error, or should I say, an error-prone human. And that's when the pink paint got on the urn. Ugh, you can't be serious. And yet this calling card clearly mentions the paint pattern. Which means, Detective Atme had seen this urn long before the crime ever took place. In fact, he saw it when this photo was taken. And because this photo is a fake, your alibi for the night of the murder will no longer holds water. There we go. Witness, do you have anything to say for yourself? Good. Right, that did it. He's broken. Nick, I think it's still a little early for a victory pose. Huh? Huh. So sad. No one has any conviction these days. Conviction, you say? Yesterday, we all decided unanimously that this man was Maske. Now we're calling him a murderer. You don't think we're being a tad fickle? That's a good point. No way. Don't fall for that too, Your Honor. You say that Luke Atme was the one who killed Kane Bullard. Let me ask you this. Why would he do that? An excellent point. Motive, Mr. Wright. Motive. Might you my merry murderous motive manifest? That was a weird sentence. Nick, he's getting a second wind. If he prepared an alibi and pinned his crime on Ron Delight, as you say, he must have a very strong motive for the murder. The only one with any motive we've seen is Ron Delight. Isn't that right, Detective? Indeed. According to my own research, Boy's motive is clear. Not a motive, it's nearly impossible to prove guilt in a murder case. Now then, maybe you can enlighten us as to what the defendant's motives were. I'd be honored to, Sir Oldtimer. Doing everything they can to make Ron look suspicious. Despite our lack of hard information, this may be our only chance. Motive for murder. Luke Atme, had no point of contact with the victim whatsoever. Kane Bullard decided to investigate Master Maske and simply mistook who he was. It was Mr. Bullard who wrote the blackmail letter and sent it to Ron Delight. And it was again Mr. Bullard who harbored a grudge against Mr. Delight for his betrayal. Mr. Bullard's mistake is quite inexcusable. The defendant truly believes he is Master Maske. That is why Mr. Delight saw it fit to kill Kane Bullard. Truly a tragedy. So the victim, Kane Bullard, blackmailed the defendant. This is the blackmail letter found in the defendant's apartment. Handwriting test confirms that Mr. Bullard was indeed the one who wrote the letter. What? Written by Bullard. Very well, Mr. Wright. Begin your cross-examination. What? So it was written by him? Okay. Oh, shoot. I don't have a controller. Who in the world is going to prove that? I will. You're doing a thorough background check of Detective Atme and Kane Bullard. We're unable to find any links between them. It's all in the report. Perhaps they were connected through their work. They were both involved in security. Nope. That was blunt. In any case, the only one with a motive was Mr. Delight. Miss Tuck. That's right, mistook. From the Old Norse mistaka, meaning to take an era. That's wasn't what I meant. Just who did the victim mistake Master Maske to be? The answer's obvious. Ron Delight, of course. Boy, I'd like to wipe that smug look off this guy's face. Sure. Why would the victim mistake the defendant for Master Maske? Don't you already know that? Zavari, take a look at this newspaper. Ho ho. That's the famous Tear of Emanon, a magnificent jewel. That photo shows a magnificent detective as well, does it not? Furthermore, it also shows an ugly guard, namely the defendant. The defendant! Victim clearly misread this article, and Svari. He got the wrong impression. Impression that this ugly security guard was in fact Master Maske. I see. That was an unusually reasonable deduction. You mean this blackmail letter right here? It says, bring 50,000. And the handwriting is without a doubt the victim's. No mistake. We have official report to prove it. But I don't see an address on this letter anywhere. An address... An address say? Sarah discovered in Ron Delight's apartment. Mr. Delight did show up at the designated place in time. The fact that there is no address say is irrelevant. Addressee. I wonder... Sorry. I wonder. What's up, Nick? I just had a thought. What if that blackmail letter wasn't meant for Mr. Delight? Whoa. Do you have any evidence of that? For some reason, I just can't shake the feeling that there's something not quite right about this blackmail letter. What? Well, everyone, are you quite satisfied? He said at the red gem. Or red diamond. Take the red diamond you received the other day instead. And then didn't he get that as a reward? Or something? Right? Okay. Okay, let me save. Okay, I'm gonna present the letter. Do I present the letter? Actually, is that what I even do? That's my only option, right? Yeah. I'm gonna ask you a few questions, Detective Atme. Well, if it's just a few, I guess it's alright. When you said that this letter was addressed to Ron Delight, I couldn't help but notice one major contradiction. Contradiction? I don't know where a walking contradiction like you gets off saying things like that. You're the one to talk. At times like these, men are made to express themselves with their fist. Why don't you show us what you got there, Junior? Indeed. Time to man up, Mr. Wright. Show the contradicting evidence in the content of the blackmail letter. The red diamond? What am I doing? Did I just present that again? A little 2-1 punch that, like that, wouldn't even faze me. I think you mean 1-2 punch. Mr. Wright. Damn it! What? It didn't bring up the... How am I supposed to... What? How do I point out the red ring thing? The red gem. The red diamond. Is it the fact that there's no ring on his finger here? Oh my gosh. Take a look at this newspaper clipping. It contains a picture of the tear of the Eminon, stolen jewel. What about it? Problem is the jewel's color. Color. I'm not much for discussing color myself. According to the clipping, the color of the stolen jewel is blue. However, the blackmail letter, a totally different jewel is mentioned. Take that red diamond you received the other day. Red. Which means, red diamond described in the blackmail letter is not the tear of Eminon that Master Masky stole at all. Here, okay, I'm on the track now. Your point is, Mr. Trite? So you're trying to say that this blackmail letter was intended for something else. Someone else. That is what you're trying to say, right, Trite? That's what you're trying to... That is what you're trying to say, right, Mr. Wright? Well, is that what you're trying to say, right, Nick? Yes. This is who Kane Bullard was actually blackmailing. I was like, what the heck am I doing? Naturally, it was you detected at me. I knew it had to do with the ring. I was like, how do I prove that he's wearing the red ring? I still have my evidence. Oh my gosh. Do you have some sort of basis for that claim? You have been personally involved in every single Master Masqué case. The last case, you recovered what was stolen and received a jewel as your reward. A jewel? Yeah, exactly. Probably one wrapped conspicuously around your finger. That red diamond ring. That is the diamond referred to in the letter. Which means that Kane Bullard wrote the letter to you. Wrote that letter in order to blackmail you. Order! Order in the courts. Order, I say. It seems you've gone too far with your childish pranks, Mr. Trite. Uh-oh. I don't like the way he said that. Kane Bullard's blackmailing Luke at me. Are you for real? Yes, I am. Nick, come on, stand up to him. Then answer me this. Blackmail letter that contains the following passage. If you don't want your identity revealed to the world... It certainly does. Kane Bullard threatened to make Luke Atme's identity public knowledge. An identity he wanted to keep a secret. So just what was that identity? Atme killed Kane Bullard because he was afraid of his secret becoming known. What was the identity he wanted to keep secret? This is what it all comes down to, Nick. The identity that Luke Atme wanted to so desperately keep secret was his identity as an ace detective. An ace detective, a blackmailer. The blackmailer, right? Because he sent multiple. Luke Atme was a blackmailer.
Objection.
Hey now, isn't that a little different from what you've been saying? You said that Kane Bullard was the one blackmailing Luke Atme. Are you saying that Atme was blackmailing someone else on top of that? You have to admit, that does sound a little odd. It's not odd. It's the only thing that makes any sense. Kane Bullard was blackmailing Luke Atme. But Mondelight was also being blackmailed by a certain someone. Right. A little incident. A few days after the Tier Eminon heist. Right. Detailed plans. In which case, that would mean that Rondelite was actually Master Masqué. That is what we're claiming. Someone else came up with the plans and had Mr. Delight steal his targets for him. And that someone was none other than Luke Atme. Shh. Silence. Now I see. It's all becoming clear. What is? When you're in grade school, you receive the same report card every year. Careless with the tendency to jump to conclusions. Am I wrong? How did you... You say that I, Luke Atme, was blackmailing Ron Delight. In which case, I would naturally know all this. I would naturally know all about his relation to Master Maske. Well, yes. Mondelight started receiving plans from his second crime onwards, correct? Which means I learned of his identity when he committed that first crime. Good point. You certainly couldn't have blackmailed him otherwise. In that case, let's see some hot, bitter evidence. During the first crime, how did Luke Atme know that Ron Delight was Master Maske? Would it be the photo? I think I see it. See what? When you were in grade school, you received the same report card every year. Gets into lots of mischief trying to be the center of attention. What do you mean? This newspaper clipping. It has a picture of you and Ron Delight in his guard uniform. See that Master Maske didn't just appear into thin air. He just took off his outfit and hid in a bucket. That sounds far too stupid to be true. Correct, with tricks like that, you couldn't fool a baby, let alone an ace detective. That's when you figured it out, Mr. Atme. That's when you learned that under his mask, Master Maske was really Ron Delight. Not only that, looks like he was even ace detective. Can't believe it. He was just simply blackmailer. Fraud. I clicked... Why you? How dare you expose me like that? I mean, I've never blackmailed anyone in my life. I'm a famous and proud ace detective, and also Master Maske. Why can't you understand that? I'm afraid you're neither a proud thief nor an ace detective. Blackmailer and a murderer. That's your true identity. Why, you... How dare you even dare to imply... well, you deaf white out yourselves with those big mouths of yours, you're all real fools. I say none of you can compare my cheating. Oh my goodness. He is just going crazy. I see we finally are at the real answer. That was quite a performance by Mr. Atme. Bailiff, please prepare a cell for Mr. Atme. What are you objectifying? Hammer the strikes too fast, has no time to aim. What do you mean? I've already prepared to deliver my ruling. Allow me to say one thing. I will be the one to judge. What? You don't get much more in your face than that. Appears that your claws weren't quite sharp enough, Mr. Trite. What do you... It's true that you've proven a lot of things. Things like Luke Atme was a filthy blackmailer. And that he wasn't at Lorley Taylor the night of the murder. That's right. That's why he's the one who killed Mr. Bolt. But... there's still one thing you have yet to prove. What's that? Just because he wasn't at the warehouse doesn't mean he was at the murder scene. Therefore, if you can't prove that this pitiful excuse for a man was at a KB security, then I don't see how a verdict can be delivered. No way! Order! Order in the court! Well, Mr. Wright, this is it. Final round. Oh, shit. Safe. Gotta prove that Atme was at Bullard's office that night. But, can you really prove that? It's long enough, Mr. Trite. I want to hear your answer. That night, Luke Atme was at KB Security, at the feds.
I don't know.
I don't think I have evidence. That he was there? The list? I don't think I've used the list yet. Okay. Let's say we can prove it. Defense can prove it with evidence. Are you sure? Ha. Huh. Don't worry, I'll watch over you. As you can break down and fall to pieces. Let's see this proof. Proof that looked at me was at KB security that night. This is the proof. It's very important. Shit. Damn it. Maybe I can't prove it. I don't think I have anything else. I'm gonna say that we can't. I don't think we can. I can't prove it. Just as I thought. But if we hear more of Detective Atmey's testimony. Fortunately, that is as far as you go, Mr. Trite. What do you mean? I won't allow for any more testimony. That is what I mean. What? Have you forgotten? Luke Atmey is here after we interrupted his own trial. And you have failed to prove that he committed the murder. I think it's time for this witness to return to his own trial. Face his guilty verdict at Maske. No. Well now, Sir Lawyer. It seems that love wins out in the end after all. I am the ace detective as well as Maske. My verdict will verify that. Justice Rondelite will verify that he is the true murderer. I declare that with the full force of my ace detectiveness. Order! Order in the court. That's enough deliberation over this witness. Can't believe this. At this rate, Ron is... Don't give up now, Nick. Sell it tomorrow. We can look for more evidence and... by then it will be too late. Huh? Why? Double jeopardied. One of the basic rules of any court of law. Double jeopardy. Should a defendant be tried and found innocent in court, defendant cannot be tried again for the same crime. Fraudulent rule of all courts applies to this witness as much as it applies to anyone else. Mr. Atmey was found guilty in a matter of minutes. Guilty as Maske, which means he'll be innocent as far as the murder of Kane Bullard is concerned. No way. The fact that you were unable to prove Mr. Atmey's guilt of the crime here means that he will never again be tried as Kane Bullard's murderer. Whoa. Damn it. Now there's nothing I could possibly do to win. Even Iran is proclaimed to be innocent. The real killer, Luke Atmey, will go free. You've cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. As long as there is no more testimony, I'm afraid I have to declare that there will be no further questioning of this witness. Are there any objections? There's nothing I can do. Hereby ends the cross-examination of Luke Atmey. Oh. I think I see it. Your Honor, when you were a child, this is what was on your report card every year. Has poor hearing, and often makes mistakes as a result. How did you? Phoenix, raise your head up high. Forgotten what I used to tell you. Lawyer is someone who smiles no matter how bad it gets. That voice. No way. Mia! Long time no see, Phoenix. Mia! It's the true power of the Korean channeling technique. I know it's really Maya who's standing before me, but right now, she's my mentor, Mia Fey. Now, let's do this. But there's nothing more we can do, Mia. Without any more testimony, we can't cross-examine. Not yet. Testimony's not over yet. What do you mean? Your Honor, just now you said something very interesting. You have cross-examined every statement the witness has made here today. Yes, that's true, but... Fortunately, Your Honor, you're forgetting something. Earlier, after the last cross-examination, the witness made a number of remarks. You checked it as well as master masking. We're ready to go verify that. This is wrong. Yeah. You haven't cross-examined that. Yes, but these comments appear to have no importance whatsoever. Very well, then we shall prove their importance via cross-examination. At any rate, as long as the witness has made these remarks, we, the defense, assert our right to question them. Is that all right with you, prosecutor? Is something the matter, Godot? Nothing. Oh, sir lawyer, it looks like you were one step too late. You think such falsehoods would do anything to me? Look at... Let's hear it. Huh? True, that witness made some remarks. So then, let's hear this last bit of cross-examination. Mr. Godot, what are you... Very well then. Mr. Look at me. I'm going to allow the defense to cross-examine your earlier remarks. Hence would like to hear why you declared the defendant to be the true murderer. So please give us one last bit of testimony. Phoenix, this is it. It's our absolute last chance. Yes, Chief. Okay. Indeed, it is true that I was not at Lordly Taylor. I had to leave to see about another vitally important job request. I known about the date beforehand, so I had this photograph readied. My brilliant introduction was what informed me that the true culprit was Ron Delight. And thanks to the key card and wallet, it was abundantly clear that he was there. I was also able to make a deduction for the buzzer. But it did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? The victim would have left prints if he sounded it, which means the killer sounded it. Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Maske outfit, which is why he left no prints. In the blackmail letter? The victim likely just mistook the color of the jewel. Svari, therefore, all the evidence points to that poor boy. Testimony actually seems to hold up pretty well. Witnesses' earlier remarks do not appear to have been hastily repaired. All his points have been explained, and none of them seem to contradict anything. Of course. But how did you know the emergency buzzer? Police investigation documents went directly through me. I always look over all the documents. It's elementary, Sir Lawyer. Ugh. I'm going to make even more trouble for us now, Sir Lawyer. No, and I will not allow any of your usual shenanigans, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Cannot postpone Luke Atmey's trial any longer. This is your last chance. Hang on a sec. Just one chance? This is what I save. Huh. Seems that the party's about to begin. Well, Phoenix, there isn't any evidence that contradicts that with that testimony. So it would seem. What do you mean, so it would seem? Listen, Phoenix. Pointing out contradictions doesn't always mean you have to present evidence, does it? At any rate, this is our last chance. Can't point out a case-breaking contradiction. You'll lose. Cup number 17, the last cup. Seems like the time has come to put an end to this trial. To find a fatal contradiction in this testimony. And I need to point out without presenting evidence. Which means all I can do is find the contradictory remark and press it. One chance. Begin your final cross-examination. Okay. So I can only do this once? Is that what they're saying? Sure that was not Lori Taylor. means the killer sounded it. Victim just mistook the color of the jewel. Shoot. Okay, wait. Let me save like here. I think it's this one. Mr. Ami, about this last remark. You still don't get it, do you? Trite. This isn't the time to be pressing the witness on every little statement. No, I think this is right. Afraid you're the one who still doesn't get it, Mr. Godot. What? Mr. Atme, it seems you have finally admitted that you were in the CEO's office on the night of the murder. How can you say that? Let's review your testimony, shall we, Mr. Atme? The button did not have any fingerprints on it. Why? Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Maske outfit, is that correct? Indeed, that's what I said. Deductions are absolutely foolproof. Okay, I understand why this is that statement. He wasn't in here when we discussed that. More like your deductions prove that you are a fool. I'm sorry, whatever do you mean? For some reason, I'm starting to get really thirsty. When exactly did we learn the fact that Ron Delight was dressed as Master Maske when he went to the scene of the crime? That was, it was just a few hours ago. Back when my sixth cup was looking at me with a cold stare. Huh? Yeah. That's right. Defendant had yet to tell anyone else this fact before this morning. Therefore, the only people who should know this are those who have been watching this trial. Do you understand now, Detective Atme? There's no way that you should have known about that. You got him. You're in the next courtroom being tried as Master Maske. So then enlightening us. Just how did you know about that piece of information? Well... Come on, this detective must have known about it. Probably had plenty of chances to find out beforehand. And it's those chances I want to discuss next. That night, Mr. Delight was wearing his Master Maske outfit. There is one and only one way for Detective Atme to have found that out. One way, you say? Please recall, if you will, Mr. Delight's testimony. When I entered the office, there was a suspicious shadow there. For a second, my client witnessed the real killer. But Mr. Delight never saw his attacker, so there's no way to tell whether or not the real killer was Luke Atme. It's with that statement that I'll turn this case on its head. Just what are you implying? Mr. Delight saw the real killer, correct? No, if you turn that statement around, it stands to reason that the real killer had also seen Ron Delight. Impossible! Detective Atme, you saw Master Maske at the murder scene that night. You saw him when you killed Cain Ballard and assaulted Ron Delight. That was the only way you could have known what Ron was wearing. Oh! Oh, he's losing it. Take a good look, everyone. Unable to find a rival worthy of my genius, I was forced to create one by myself. Here I am, the tragic clown. It's the same line you gave yesterday. I think there's a little more meaning behind it this time. Oh. What an awfully complicated incident. Cain Ballard was blackmailing Luke Atme, who was in turn blackmailing Ron Delight. Upon killing his blackmailer, Luke Atme tried to frame Ron Delight. He then claimed to be guilty as Master Maske in order to escape his true crime. To that end, he came up with this plan to use the double jeopardy rule in making his alibi. At any rate, it would seem we finally found the truth. Excuse me. I came perilously close to the besmirching the record of an innocent young man. Besmirching him with the title of murderer. Don't ignore me! Oh, I didn't realize you were there. Why wouldn't he be? About the verdict. I know. You never committed any murder. That's right. I'm so glad you understand that, but... I really am Master Maske. Huh? So, thanks to that trial yesterday, I'm innocent now, right? What was it you said? Double jeopardy? Now that you mention it, I've been careless. Careless? What do you think, Mia? Defendant says the rule of double jeopardy is absolute. Defendant can never be tried twice for a crime in which he was found innocent. Then Master Maske really is innocent. It would seem so. For now. For now. Now then, the court finds the defendant. Boy, this is really lucky. Wait, this isn't so good after all. You see, the thing is, I'm still, Master Maske after all. Well, we did it. You did it, Phoenix. Thanks, Mia. It's been a long time, hasn't it? Yeah, it's because Maya doesn't call on me much these days. Oh. I'm just joking, Phoenix. Don't take everything so seriously. On the other hand, Maya, she seems kind of torn these days. You mean about becoming the master of the Korean channeling school? Becoming the master means saying goodbye to her mother. Misty Faye, right? Watch over her, will you, Phoenix? Of course. Well then, see you around. Mia. Mr. Wright. I don't know what to say. Congratulations, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much. No, wait. Nothing really matters anymore now that all this happened. Come on, just be happy already. Maya. Been cleared of murder charges and got off the as Master Maske to boot. In exchange, I lost everything. Huh? What do you mean? Stealing security information from KB Security, becoming Master Maske. Did it all for one reason, for her. You mean your wife, Desiree. She hates criminals more than anything. Come to think of it, she was once held hostage by some robbers, wasn't she? She always says how she hated sneaky criminals. I knew that, but once I got fired from KB Security and lost all the money I had, she wouldn't have any reason to stay with me. I thought she would leave me for sure. That's why you became Master Maske. Yes, but it's all over now. Broken Bowl can never be put back together. That's not true. Right, Nick? Right. Really? Can we go back to the way things were? You'll be fine, and Nick can prove it. I can? Kinda wish you'd check with me first. There's still always a way to put it back together. Am I gonna present the urn? The sacred urn. Desi was the one who found this. Desiree, your wife. She always believed in you, Ron. That's why you'll be fine. You don't have to worry about anything. There you are. Miss Delight. You did it, Ronnie. You're innocent. I'm so happy. Thank you. I appreciate that. But, I suppose you don't want anything more to do with me, do you? Ronnie, why didn't you talk to me about what was going on? I had no idea you quit KB Security. Never imagined that you really were Master Maske either. Miss Delight, what are you going to do now? Now that you know. You're not going to really leave him, are you? Come on, it's obvious, isn't it? How could I ever let a wonderful man like him get away? After all, my bike's really fast. So fast that there's no way he could ever get away. Didn't you say that you hated criminals? Oh, I only hate people who act cowardly and sneaky. Like that detective. I see. My Ronnie went and declared his crimes before he committed them, like a man. I just love a man who's so chivalrous. Chivalrous? knew I was right about you. Every day spent with you is filled with thrills and excitement. Desi. Desiree, you really do love Ron, don't you? Nicky boy. Yes? I'm really glad I asked you to defend my Ronnie. Thank you so much. I'll never forget what you've done for us. Oh, well, take care of yourself. You too, Nicky boy. I can feel my face going red. Mr. Nick! Mystic Maya, congratulations! Talk about bad timing. Mr. Nick, how could you? With another man's wife in front of Maya. Oh, you got it all wrong. Never forgive you. So just as the case came to a close, so did my consciousness. Unsaid, a broken bowl can never be put back together. But I know that's not true. I mean, just look. Here's a perfect example of one that was put back together even before. Even better than before. Oh, so cute. Yay! We did it. That's quite the chapter. Oh my gosh, she looks so cute. Alright, we'll see where this is gonna go next time. Yes. Why do you look so... I don't know what's gonna happen. I can't tell. Why looks really cute. Next time we'll be starting an episode. It's an episode. Wow, what a... It's crazy how that went full circle like that. That was interesting. But, a lot of fun. Wasn't too difficult, I don't think. Sometimes I'm like, what? How does this work? It's fine. That wasn't too bad. I didn't struggle too badly with it. But yeah, that's it for this case, this trial. So next time, new episode, brand new, I guess, some new people to deal with and stuff like that. That'll be very exciting. New face. But that'll be it for now. So hopefully I'll see you. Goodbye.